Greetings everyone, my name is Axel from the channel Threads of Her, and today I will do a Norscan tier list video, and in the second half I will talk about their rework and the whole Norscan update, what are my feelings about that. It's a sort of a mini review. So before we begin, I will obviously rate this one in very hard battle difficulty, like taking that into consideration, and the maximum AI stat difficulties. So that is one thing. The other thing is that I will try to stay objective, but I will also be, a little bit subjective about these choices. Because you can already see we have a cavalry here, which I will talk about pretty soon. Another thing is that I won't mention are the faction specific, let's just say they are unique units that come from other factions. So like Sahil has access to the Chaos Warriors or the Chaos Spawns, and Trok has the various throws in his roster. And I will also not talk about the regiments of the Renowns, because that should also be an entirely different subject. So let's start with the cavalry. Now I hate cavalry. I think they are boring, they are frustrating, they are a lackluster unit. They need to be constantly micromanaged, babysitted. Their value, at least for me, is crap. I'm sorry guys, but I just don't use them, so I can't rate them that well. I will give an honorable mention to the Kurgan dual axis, because this is what Sahil starts with. And I did use them, as a baiting unit, let's just draw a unit towards me, and two of these guys actually killed it. But I don't think cavalry is good in my opinion. I don't care if it's a tier 5 cavalry from Bretonia or I don't know, it can be Corns, goddamn strongest cavalry. No, I just hate cavalry altogether. So every cavalry, except these guys, I'm gonna give, this is the honorable cavalry category. Every one of them will go into the cavalry tier, and obviously these ones could be considered cavalry, but once again, I do consider them cavalry, so yeah. So I just hate cavalry altogether. I think they are just crap. Next thing is the missile units. So they only have two missile units. We have the javelins, we have the dual axes. If I'm correct, the javelins are anti-large, yep. And these guys are armor piercing and shield breaking. I mean, it's situation like early game they could be useful, and they are also decent melee combatant, and their stat is not as far away from marauders. You will lose the shield and some melee attack and some melee defense, but still I don't think they are that good, and you will outgrow these guys really quickly, so I do think that they are crap. So that's also, and they are not high elves, because this is not Norsca strength, the missile units. So it's understandable that they won't shine in this category. Now we have the basic marauders with the shield. Actually, we have three basic variants here. So we have the regular dudes, we have the great weapons one, so these ones will have armor piercing, but they won't have the shield. And we have the spearman, which is the anti-large variant. Now these guys, I would definitely put it under C tier, because they are really good, line holders. And this is what I'm mainly looking for, someone to hold the line until the actual damage dealers can deal damage, which is usually the heroes, the lords, magic, and anyone else. So the line holders need to have shields, because that will give them more value, more armor, more, you know, time to hold the line. So these guys are good. These would be my early game stacks. And these guys are once again situational. You could obviously, you know, grab like 2 of these. So, you know, if you would encounter anything anti-large, but once again, you just going to outgrow them so goddamn quick. So D tier is not only, you know, just, how should I say, actually crap units, but once you outgrow something, they are just useless, you know. Why would you recruit them? Okay, so yeah, they also go into the crap tier. Now we have the Bearmans. We have the shielded variant. This is the Great X one, right? Let's just see. So they do come from here, yes. So we have the shielded variant, and actually the great weapons are tier 3. Okay, that's interesting. They are obviously armor piercing, and these guys have, once again, just the regular shield. So not the silver shield. And you could also have a gold shield, but yeah, this is just the basic shield. And these guys don't have anything. Now you could buff them. There is a unique building here. Where is it? It's in Shockdraken. We have the Hall of Urslo. So they would gain a global recruitment duration reduction, which you can reduce them even without this, and they would also gain perfect vigor, which is, you know, that's not the best, but it's better than, you know, nothing. So how would I rate them? Now this is definitely my you know, like middle game Doom stacks. Definitely they are just a pure upgrade. They have shield, line holders. This is what I'm looking for to hold the line. So these guys are obviously up there. And the great weapon variant. You could also mix match them, but I would definitely put them lower, because, you know, the tier difference. But let me just quickly see. I think it's in Altdorf. You can grab them in one turn, right? Yes, you can. So you can grab them in one turn, but I would either, you know, I would probably go at 60% these guys, or just 50-50. But I just spam these guys, and these guys are amazing. They hold the line, you know, until eternity. So they are really good. We have next the Berserkers. Now the Berserkers are quite interesting, because there is a unique, I mean, it's not a unique building, it's actually a trading resource. It's the furs. Where is it? We have a furs right here. So Marauder Berserkers gain +2 melee attack and +5% weapon strength. So if you would grab all of these, which I definitely tried, but I did not build a Doom stack, they could have a nice stat, right? So yeah, melee attack 52, weapon strength 104. Yeah, it would be good if we could know, you know, the base of it. Or is that the base? But yeah, that's actually pretty significant upgrade there. But as I said, I need line holders. Their armor is absolute crap. Melee defense, they don't have the shield. There is also another thing which is an ancillary. I don't know if you can, you know, stack those, and we have the Bernsling Berserker, which would give them even more weapon strength and some leadership, but that's like, So, and you could actually put this on a Lord, on a Verkin, on a Bale Fiend, and a Shaman Sorcerer. So if they do stack, then that's 40% additional weapon strength, which is kinda OP. But I don't use them, usually. So I will give them a B tier. Maybe even higher than the Marauder regular Bearmans. I mean, it's difficult. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go, you know, subjective here, because this is what I prefer. But these ones, you know, with these stats they can, and there's obviously technologies as well, which I did not focus on the infantry technology, but there are, you know, physical resistance there. What do we have? The berserkers would gain melee defense armor there, so this also affects them, that affects them. That's for cavalry, yucky, cavalry, this one would affect them, so another 10%. Actually, no, it doesn't, so that's crap. And this one either doesn't, yeah. And leadership is So, yeah, I think that's a good spot for them, because once again, I think Norsca's strength is definitely not cavalry, definitely not the missiles, and not even in the infantry. So there is only one thing remain, which we will, you know, talk about pretty soon. But yeah, I think B tier is generous from me, because once again, once you outgrow these guys, they are, you know, useless. And now we have the top cream of the Norscan infantry, the Marauder champignons. So we have the champignons of the regular version, which is the shielded one. And actually these guys, in the past, I'm not sure if they are now, they used to be better than Chaos Warriors. But these guys, in lore, want to become Chaos Warriors, right? And then once you're a Chaos Warrior, you want to become a Chosen. And once you're chosen, you want to become, I don't know, aspiring champions, or I don't know. But they used to be better than Chaos Warriors, and actually they are tier 3 unit. While the Chaos Warriors, let's just say this is just an altar. The Chaos Warriors are actually tier 2. Yeah, that might still be the case. Interesting. But how would I rate them? Well, here is the biggest issue. 2 turns. I'm not sure if that's because this building... So if you would go this route, it would actually be a 1 turn. Yeah, that's difficult, yeah, because I'm not sure about that. We also have the great weapon variants, which is... no. I would rather grab the shielded variant, but... because that's 2 turns, and they're gonna have the D tier. Absolutely crap. I mean, 2 turns to recruit a meh infantry. And guess what, guys? Guess what? If I go back into the original province, 1 turn mammoths. 1 turn. And that's 2 turns. Get out of here, man. 2 turns is... no. I mean, if it's not 2 turns, then yeah, you could probably push them a bit further, but still. We are arriving to the actual gem of the Norscan roster, the monsters. Now we have 2 trolls here. As I said, I won't be talking about the regular, I mean, trogs, you know, trolls. So we have the regular trolls and the Norscan ice trolls, right? That's their name. Let us just check it real quickly. Not that one, this one, this one. So yes, the Norscan ice trolls and just regular Norscan trolls. Well, it's pretty obvious the regular ones immediately enter the D tier. Goodbye, have fun. Now we have the ice trolls, which I kinda like. So I would put them into B tier if we are talking about Siles or Wulfric's faction, because Trog's faction effect actually gives them 15% physical resistance, which is, I think, a nerf, because they used to have 20% physical resistance, but I'm not sure. So Trog's army would be probably A tier, or like Trog's faction, and Trog's army would probably be a Doomstack, so an S tier, because they would have horrible regeneration, which I already mentioned in my last video about the little worms, which is actually really good for the trolls, because you know they are multiple units, so they would be able to resurrect. But as I said, the horrible regeneration has a horrible effect that it will be disabled once you have one. While we have a regular, oh not, you also have the horrible regeneration. If we check a regular regeneration, so this won't be disabled. You know, once you win the battle, you still can off in the middle of the field and you just gonna heal yourself up. So yeah, horrible regeneration has its uses, but it also has its downs. So this is how I would put them. Trog is an S tier, just defection A, but otherwise probably a B tier. They are really goddamn good against infantry, especially if you put them with marauder bearmans, so like in a giant blob, but their leadership is really crap, so that's what you really need to watch out for. Actually now they are better. I think that also used to be lower. They have some physical resistance, but that's because the Lord has an effect on them. And they also will do frostbite attacks, so speed reduction. There is also a technology that does affect them. I think that comes from a Kislev, right? Yes. So permafrost wards for the ice trolls, these guys that are absolute crap, and the chaos dragons. Or wait, what are they called now? Chaos frost dragons now. Oh yeah. So, which is a damage reflection. So plus them damage reflection. That's interesting, you know. So I'm not sure how does that work. So like 10% of the damage will be reflected, or 10 damage will be reflected. But you know, that's there. But I do think they are really good. I once again like to mix them with the Burmans. So they definitely do deserve the B tier in my opinion. And there is obviously various techs that I did not grab for them, because I outgrow them really quickly. So yes, we have melee defense there that does not affect them or them. And what do we have? Extra armor, missile resistance. So yeah, I think they do deserve the B tier there. Next we have the Feral Manticore. Now when I fought these guys in the... I think there is a monster hunter for them, right? Let me just check real quickly. Definitely did one. Which one was it? Yeah, we had one. They were kinda tough. But there is one big issue with these guys, which immediately earns them the B tier. That is freaking Rampage. Absolutely crap Rampage. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Anything that's like becomes, you know, uncontrollable, that's just immediately, you know, goes into the D tier. It's just crap, pure crap. So in Norsca I don't think they work. There is actually a... which Doom stack is that? I think that's the Chaos Warriors that can buff them like really brutally. Or the Dark Elves. Oh, I think it's the Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, but yeah, they do deserve the D tier. Rampage, you are out of here. Now we have the Skin Wolves. So we have double of these guys, which I don't use that much. Ooh, 2 turns recruitment, yucky. So this is the armored version. They have shields and they are anti-large. Yeah, so that's their, you know, specialty. They are also armored. I mean shielded, but the armor is way less. But their stat difference is... where did you go? So yeah, they do lose armor, they do gain speed though. And yeah, otherwise they are kind of the same stat-wise. Yeah, so they are the main anti-large of Norsca, and the Fimir as well. But I don't use them, because anti-large will be, you know, dealt with in another matter, or like with another unit. But I do give these guys a C tier, because there could be once again situations once you use them. But anti-large is covered by me, so the anti-large uses of them is immediately gone. And other than that, they don't provide me with anything. They are fast, for sure. So maybe I should actually be generous, but only you can get B tier. You are turn 2 recruitment duration immediately. That's really, really low. Maybe you should be even put into these guys, and I think I will, yeah. Anything that's 2 turns does not worth it, unless it's a really, really goddamn good unit, and which you are not, because that additional armor, no. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah. Okay, next we have, let's put you back a little bit. We have the 2 females. Is one of them the new female unit? Or... let's just see. So we have the regular females. It's be better if I do it this way. Yeah. Come on, coins. So we have the regular female. We also have the great weapon variant. So both of them do sundering attacks, right? Yes. And magical damage. One of them is anti-infantry, the other is anti-large. They don't really have additional stats. Yeah, they do have scaly skin, they don't, so that's interesting. So their missile resistance is 30 and yours is 30, so that's weird, because that's what scaly skin is now. Yeah, so I don't know what the heck is that. Yeah, it should have been, said anti-infantry, but whatever. Once in both of them 2 turns. Oh, that's bad. So you immediately go into the 2 turns category, which is the D tier. So enjoy your stay there. Once again, I don't use these guys. Anti-infantry can be covered by anything else. If I would go anti-large, definitely scheme wolves, not these guys. Do they have regenerations? Let's just see. No and no. So that's immediately out, because the scheme wolves do have regen and frenzy. So that's much better than not having regen. So yeah, these guys are absolutely crap. And now we arrive to one of the most unique and strangest unit in the entire world, which is the Dreadmo. Now the Dreadmo is actually, well, how would I rate it? I will give an S tier. This is my subjective opinion. My objective opinion would be an A tier, but it would be really on like the border. Because, by now you should have seen my Dreadmo video. So I think their main strength is during sieges, because they have an ability that, lets them jump. Do we see that ability? No, we see the surface. Let's just see. But they do have an active ability, which means you can basically jump over the walls. You are inside the settlement, so you don't need to break the walls, the door, anything. You immediately going to go back underground, so you can move. Because also that's their unique thing. Either you are above the ground and you can move, or you are below the ground. Wait, no, if you are above you cannot move, while you are below you can move. Yes, they do poison attack, which is pretty good. They have a really unique effect, which is the survival instinct. If the leadership is broken, the unit is immediately shatters. But I'm not sure if they go away for good, but I think they should. If I'm correct, there is also something like that, no? Poisonous spells, they also have some melee damage reflection. Did they change that? Because if I'm correct, then they should just, run away immediately. But also from your army. Although I'm not sure. Or if they shatter, they, immediately withdraw. But, there is this really unique effect with them. they're also like an artillery. At first look they would, be an artillery unit, which I don't think they are, because their missile strength is crap. Their melee attack is actually okay, because in that doomstack that I did about them, they kind of upheld themselves pretty decently, and they fought back as well. So I think their melee is better than their missile. What else is unique about them? They have, missile block, which is pretty good. Immune to flanking, that's also good. They have really good resistances, as I have showcased in the video, but where is that dude? Right here. So the resistance is, pretty decent. 45%, 13% war save. So they are pretty much invincible to physical missiles, which is good. Sisters of Avalon would have been a really good test against them. But other than that, so during sieges, what you can do with them, since they also stalk, that's their other thing, is you capture the points, with your fast unit, your heroes, lords, the skim walls, because skim walls are really good on capturing, points. And once you have captured those, the enemy will try to take them back, right? But what you will actually do is put the worms into the path that the AI will try to come to you, because these points have these 2, 3 or 4 routes that they can come in, and you just put them in the middle and the AI cannot see them. But once they approach you, they will see them, and they don't know how to react. So usually what they do is approach, they see the worm, they retreat back, but the worms went back into hiding, so they are going to approach you again, and then they're gonna retreat again. And this is what they're gonna do. If they are not retreating, you just burst out of the ground, and you're just going to lock them down with the worms. So they are really goddamn good during sieges. Now, as for their battle capabilities, they are pretty good at harassing missile troops and the artilleries the enemy has, because they can lock down a missile troop, because you have your missile troops lined up, they just pop from the ground and the missiles cannot fire. Usually they try to run away, but they could stay inside the worm's zone, and they will try to fight it. Usually they withdraw the artillery, so they obviously won't abandon the artillery, but they are also good at taking out those specific units. And because of that, yes, I would actually give them an S tier. If you use them correctly, you don't even have to doomstack them, because personally I don't doomstack them. I will talk about army composition in a later date. So where did my dude go? Oh, it's there. But this is my default army. So 4 of them I think is enough. They should definitely work in pairs at least, but the more the better. But you don't really want to spam them, even though you could spam them. I just wouldn't. They are like this special type of unit, special range weapon, as it says there. So yeah, if you use them correctly, they can be a devastating force, because you can constantly just bait away the enemy, pop from the ground. The cavalry that was about to charge the rest of your army will suddenly turn back and head towards the dreadnoughts. So they are really goddamn good in my opinion. So they do deserve the S tier, at least for me. What shall we do next? Let's do the rest of the Floyers here. So we have the Chimera here, which is a new unit. So the Chimera is kind of like a Bale Taurus, which the Chaos Dwarfs have. So they have, this fire breath, technically. Although the Chaos Dwarfs could buff them even further if they grab a unique... something here, there is a unique landmark that will actually give them definitely more charges, so it will be 5 instead of 3. Maybe even physical resistance, I'm not sure. So they have 3 heads, and each head, you know, does different damage. So we have flaming, magical, and poison, and they also do armor piercing, but they don't, you know, specialize in anti-infantry or anti-large. And I tested them, as you can see. I tried to test the monsters out, at least the ones that I am like conflicted about, and I don't think they are that good. If they are, you know, fighting alone, but even in groups, they go down so goddamn easily, even though their armor is pretty decent, and you know, their stats looks, you know, pretty good. I do think that they are not that good units. Because, you know, once again, there are better units to grab, or heroes. You could obviously grab more heroes instead of the units themselves. If I want to be really generous, I would give them a B tier. Because, and also, this is a really important thing about them, which I really do have to mention them, because this is probably the first unit that you can start pumping out. What I mean is global recruitment duration for them is 1 turn. And I don't know how you can achieve this, because they come from the building that has the, you know, the other flying dudes, the Chaos Frost Dragons and the whatevers, which I usually build, because if you grab this one, that will give missile resistance. So if I check the... what do I check? They are on the same tier as the female great weapons. So female great weapons, are they 1 turn or they are not? As you can see, no, they are 3 turns still, while the Chimera is only 1. You can pretty much immediately grab them in 1 turn. So that's a really good benefit for them, because I usually use them as an emergency army. Some of these guys probably have that, yeah. Like this dude right here. Although most of them I disbanded now, because the campaign is safe. But if I would, you know, recruit, as you can see here what I've been doing, I wanna hit Archaon's ass up here. Then yes, in 1 turn you can just grab these guys, and in Auto Resolve they just, you know, pretty amazing. So yeah, I do have to mention their recruitment is really goddamn quick. So they do deserve B tier, but it's very, you know, in the B and C tiers border. But I do think they are, you know, they are there. And now we have this dude that have been renamed so many times, which was only 2. So this is the Chaos Frost Dragon. Now I do think they are A tier, although once again, like a worm. This is my subjective, no, this is just my subjective opinion. The objective would maybe, you know, they are doom stackable technically, so yeah, they could, you know, belong in that tier, but they are flying, and they will be immediately targeted by the AI. They also have a breath attacks, so let's just check that. How much breath attack they do have. They also have the permafrost wards that the Norscan ice trolls had. They have 3 frost breath attack, which is, you know, it's a regular breath attack. And their stats is, you know, identical. They have fire weakness, so same as like a frost monster. And they do magical attack. Their weapon strength is pretty goddamn high, yeah. Even higher than the mammoths. Interesting. But I do give them an A tier, because someone has to be there. So it will be these guys, but it's very close to, you know, S tier. And you can doomstack them, but, you know, I didn't, because I don't find them that interesting. Now feral mammoths, immediately D tier. Goodbye. Although, oh, no. Oops. Spoiler alert. Let's go with the giants first. So we have the giants. So let's see the the three giant variants. So we have the base version, or you know, the oldest one, the Norscan giant, which is, I mean, there are giant lovers out there that would say that, oh my god, they are an S tier, but no, they are not. I don't think they are that good. They are goddamn slow units. So for me, they are just very meh. They're just so meh units that no, they just don't work. So yeah, at least for me. Then we have the two editions. We have the regular Athens and we have the Rune Color Athens. Let's start with the little dude, which is a step up from the regular giant, right? Actually no, they have less armor, but they have shields. They have more melee defense. They have less weapon strength. They also lose their anti-infantry status there. But they do have access to the heads, right? Yes. And that's actually not the head that I like. Yes, this is what I like. So yeah, they don't have access to the regeneration head, because the Rune Color will have regeneration, although a really crap one. So how would I rate these guys? I think I would put them in C tier. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, you know. Because, oh my goodness. Their recruitment duration is, let's see. So yeah, 3 turns for all of them. And which building am I grabbing them from? Oh yeah, this is where they are coming from, yeah. Oh yeah, so this is where they are coming from, yeah, because this is where I built my army of cursed Utins. And what did I want to see? Yeah, their local duration. Quickly, let's see that. Because that will decide everything, man. More change something. They are 1 turn, all of them. Interesting. Yeah. Man, that's interesting. So these guys have anti-infantry armor piercing, now just armor piercing, and now nothing. But they do have magical attacks. Oh my goodness. My goodness, yeah. It's difficult, man, it's difficult. Where would I put them? So the cursed Athena, I think it's either an A or a B tier. Because the reason why is they have a mini regeneration, which is not that one, but this one. So if the hit points is less than 50%, then they start regenerating, but only until they reach the 50%. So it's like a crap version of, you know, regeneration. Once again, it's just crap. They do have spells. The Doom and Darkness is the worst one, I think. The other one is the Enfeebling Foe, which is good, you know, like reducing melee defense and attack for lords, heroes, anything that's dangerous. Only one use there. This one has 2. And we also have the Flock of Poop. So the Flock of Poop is, once again, 2 usage. This is definitely a good use, especially once you have this much. So we are talking about, you know, 19 of them. So, you know, doubling that is 14, so that's 38 usage of Flock of Doom, which is pretty goddamn good.
True savages.
But you know, Tierlist has it like 1 or 2, so that much Winds of Magic isn't that big of a deal. Do they have access to Spell Mastery, right? If I'm correct. No, the enemy will have actually. Yeah, they will also have themes like physical resistance, which is probably shown there, right? Yeah. Because I use them and I think they are good units. Their issue is their speed. The speed is goddamn crap, man. So crap. They're just gonna be targeted by any missile troop in the entire world. They're just gonna die with that much armor. I will give them actually an A tier, because you know, Sile starts with them. I enjoyed using them here as well.
Spoil and ravage.
So
What?
yeah, they have regen, they have the spells, they have quite a bit of a resistance which we could increase further. This dude is already 1. So how much extra can we gain? Let me just calculate it really quickly. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yes, because this dude doesn't work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 20 additional % of physical resistance, which would be 55. That's pretty decent. Now let's just see, the ward save would probably affect them as well. So that's 8 ward save. So that would be 18% ward save there, which is good. I think I grabbed everything for them, right? Yes. Yes, this is physical resistance also. So I don't think, is that working? So am I seeing this now, the physical resistance, or not? Because if I'm not seeing this, then goddamn, that's pretty decent. It's pretty goddamn decent, yeah. Let me just see. Just gonna check it out real quick. I'm gonna cut to the part where, you know, the thing is. Oh, let's just see, do they have... I think that's already shown, right? Yeah, so enabled if the hit points is greater than 50%, yeah, so I already see that. Yes, okay. But yeah, they do have the flock of poop, so... yeah, I think... yeah, let's just give them the A tier. I think they do deserve it. Do we want to move any of these guys further up? Let's just see. Do we go? This one is quicker, right? Yeah. And battle, whatever. So yeah, I might just give the base version a bit higher, but I will keep the Norscan giants there because I absolutely think they are crap. They used to be crap and they are still crap. So hopefully the giant lovers will also love me now. Because yeah, I think they are doomstackable. Maybe I should have done above them as well. Because those stats look really, really good. And now we arrive finally to the crème de la crème. I don't know how to say it in French. The mammoths. So we have the feral version immediately D tier, as you could have seen with the spoilers before. This one has rampage, absolute crap. I wouldn't even grab them. The only usage of this one would be probably, I think Surtrex still starts with this. So if you try to grab it, confederate him, so yeah, it's just no. I just don't like it, honestly. And we have the two mammoths. We have the regular war mammoth, obviously immediately up there, and we have the Chaos War Shrine version, right? So let's talk about these guys a bit more lengthily. Now the difference between them is this dude has a backpack. I mean, it's not a backpack, it's basically little javelin throwing dudes. So if we check that out, yes, that's actually anti-large. So that's really good, the missile strength. And they also have like crazy amounts of ammo. 200, that's it's impossible to run out. The range is 90, but this would be their best missile troop, honestly. So yeah, I do think that's better. The Chaos Force Shrine will have the unique effect of this one, which is with the intensity. You can gain physical resistance in an aura around yourself. I'm not sure if these stack. If they stack, then definitely that's OP and you should only spam these guys, but I don't think that that's stackable. And I don't think it's fun either. That's even not fun for me. I also have the Favor of the Ruinous Power, which is the other one doesn't, which is kind of a meh. Yeah. That's the only two difference between them, so you should probably, you know, spam just the mammoths themselves, and you know, you grab like 2 of these, or how much group you want the mammoths broke whenever, you know, you are fighting the enemy. But still, I did not grab them, the Chaos Force Shrine, even though they are good, because that's just too much loss for me. So I need this much mammoths at least, but they are easily the best unit in the Norscan, you know, roster still to this day. They don't have any natural enemies. In melee they dominate, against cavalry they dominate, missiles dominate, even heroes. Their only, you know, like weakness would be probably magical attacks, because they don't have anything in that regard. They have pretty much invincibility, or like at the cap of the physical missile resistance, but their stats is goddamn crazy high. So yeah, and you should have already seen the video about them, which I will, you know, once again try to link somewhere. So yes, I do think they are the best. So I think that's the tier list for the units themselves. I think this is, you know, kind of subjective, kind of objective. Could have been something that's, you know, a bit, you know, forward up or more down, but I do think this is their main thing. Now, once we are done with this, we should move on towards the rework itself. So the rework, I think the Norsca rework is good. It's really good, because the factions themselves feel unique. So Sail has this little thing. Trog has his, you know, whole where is it? Trog ran over here, if I'm correct. But Trog has his whole it's almost like a mini war army that he has, this whole, you know, troll base. So he's actually now the troll king. So I really do enjoy that. And Wulfric, well, Wulfric only has that, you know, little teleport thingy, but you can actually bring another army with you. So yeah, the factions feel truly unique, and not just, you know, the faction effects. They have actual mechanics, even if it's not that big of a deal. And there is one really big issue with the rework, and this is just terrible. At least I'm not sure that they have access to this, and that is the confederate their already dead legendary lords, like what the high elves have with their, you know, mechanics. So they can confederate their dead legendary lords. And who else has that? The dwarves have that, obviously, though the dwarf rework is excellent. The beastmen also have that. Who else has that? The Warriors of Chaos have that one, because if you go to the capital, you can resurrect them, if I'm correct. But yeah, not having, I don't think they have access to, I did not confederate Trog yet. He's running around, so I cannot catch him. But you know, if you don't have access to that, that's just really crap. I think whenever they do a rework, they should always make sure that we can bring back dead load. I mean, you can bring them back, but it's so goddamn frustrating that you have to cause a rebellion. No, I just won't do it. I won't cause a rebellion, especially once we are talking about like the Skavens. So once we are in the Skaven territory, if we have Tunko, then please let's just, you know, be able to confederate dead legendary lords. You know, bring them back from certain mechanic. It could be technology, I don't care. Just let us be able to do that. And the Norscans don't have that, at least not that I'm aware of. Where do we start? No, these one. So I won't talk about their unique effects because it's not that big of a deal. Sail has his whole altar buildings and access to Chaos Warriors and Chaos Spawn. Let's talk about the Monster Hunt reworks. I do think the Monster Hunts are much better. They are really amazing and engaging. Now the biggest issue for me is the cooldown on it, which, you know, I understand there is a cooldown on it which you can actually reduce, because the base cooldown is actually 4 turns, but it can be 2 turns with this one. If you do, you know, the hunting, objective, quests, whatever. So I understand that you know, it has to be some cooldown, but I think it's just boring when I have an Omega army that can crush anything, and I have to wait 4 turns with that army doing absolutely nothing. I think that's just boring. So yeah, I do think that that's not really good. And especially this is a faction-wide buff, so there is pretty much only what, so the Lord should have the cooldown reduction, not the entire book, because the entire book is like cooldown reduction everywhere. So I think this is crap. But the hunt themselves are enjoyable in my opinion. They are, you know, unique. There are negatives about it, so, you know, you are chasing a giant. I had a giant that I tried to chase and he was constantly running away from me, and I constantly gained, you know, negative effects. Maybe I even still have that. Yeah, like this one, campaign movement range. So yeah, I do think that the monster hunts are good. I really enjoy, I have to mention the... Which one is it? Which one is it? Oh, the taming hunts, yeah. So the Praeton. So the Praeton is the new Slaneshi monster thingy, which the Norscan has now through this, you know, mechanics. And also the Beastman. So that's, I think that's really amazing when you introduce a unit and other factions can gain it from, you know, like 2 contents ago, or, you know, like from the first game. So I think that's really amazing. And they do have access to unique units like the Dragon Ogre Shaggot. We have Toad Dragons, Cockatrices, Manticores, which is... What do you gain with this one? Oh, Chaos Feral Manticore, wow. That's so much better. We have Cygors, Jabberslide, Gorgons, and the Praeton as well. And the trophy hunts are, you know, the unique magic items. I don't find any of them that good. I will also talk about their magic items, so, you know, we will get there. But these magic items are just meh, in my opinion. I think one of them had a region, right? I think it was the Spoiler. Is it the Spoiler? Yes, that is it. But we will have regions, so I don't care about region. So I think that's the you know, the whole monster hunt thingy. Let's go over to the technology. So they had a complete rework of their technology, which is amazing in my opinion. I just cannot choose between their technology because all of them are so good that I'm, oh my god, I want this, no, I actually want this, no, I actually want this, which is, you know, actually you're gonna get that one eventually, but it's so goddamn good that all of them are good. So I don't feel like, oh, this is a crap one. I mean, there are crap ones in it, but most of them are so good that I just can't choose between them. And they also reworked the... because this was one of their unique things, when if you capture the the faction or race is capital city, you will have a unique, what is this, a technology, which is, you don't need to, you know, let's just say I need to occupy Fate Weaver's Crevice 4th Siege, or I need to win 10 battles against Siege. So this is really good, I think, because previously you had to just occupy them. And one of the really good ones here is obviously this one. This is the Nurgle one. So 10% resistance for Norsca monsters. Oh my goodness. Such an amazing... I think all of them are really well done. Most of them are focusing on, you know, buffs against the specific race that you know, won against. We also have the Corn one, which replenishes our campaign movement range after raising a settlement, which I will also talk about, the whole raising mechanic. So yeah, their technology is goddamn well done in my opinion. And you know, that's it, pretty much. It's not that difficult to gain everything. So yeah, that technology is good. It's good. The next thing is, what are we talking about? The economy. So that economy, as you can see, I'm rich, you know. Even though yes, I'm in negative. So from the first look, you would think Norsca took a hit on their economy, because previously, you know, in the beginning of the Warhammer 3 era, they could occupy every settlement. Now, before in Warhammer 2 and in 1, they could only occupy Norscan home region, or like Chaos Waste, and ports, and capital cities like Aldorf, what we discussed in the technology. Now, in Warhammer 2 or 3, they could occupy everything, and now they are in this hybrid mode where you can occupy everything, but you will need spoils to do so. And if you occupy something without the spoils, you will have like a basic building which is making... How much money am I making here? Let's just see. So this is Terracotta Graveyard. I'm making 350 G there. Another one, City of Shuanghong. I'm making 350. So their income is obviously crappier in the altars. Which, you know, Cygel's one is a unique one. So you would think their economy actually took a hit, but they actually didn't, because they are still goddamn strong. There's a really good way you can cheese this, which... am I talking about it? No, not yet. What else are we talking about?
Despoil and ravage.
So you should always end your turn in raiding.
You have my faith.
Because if you raid, like, you won't see it here, but if you raid, you actually reduce the upkeep cost by 30%. So let me just see, and what do we doing? But you know, I will actually show that a bit later, but you always want to make sure you are raiding, because even if you raid your own territory, just see how much money I spare. I'm not gaining anything, but you always want to do this. The contra and growth, it won't be that big of a deal. You also generate Winds of Magic, so that's pretty goddamn decent. So yeah, always end in raid, so you can be in the positive. But you make so much money, and this money, by the way, is mostly from post-battle loot, so I don't... I'm not sacking any settlements, so that would be the biggest income. But you know, this is just a regular post-battle loot. So yes, that's one thing. What are we talking about? I really enjoyed their growth building, because their growth building is also an income building. I think this is just amazing. I really love this, so I really have to mention this one. We also have faction wide buffs, so from the mammoths you gain weapon strength all armies 1%, so you can, you know, stack this indefinitely. From the flying dudes buildings we have missile resistance. Then I would also grab the Skinwolf Verkins, because they are really good units, which I will talk about later. I will also grab this one, but this one would be the building that I sacrifice if I don't have space. So there would be a unique building, a port, a landmark, whatever. I would sacrifice this building, which is global recruitment capacity +1 faction-wide. And these blue things, by the way, come from the spoils themselves. We also have this building, which is a faction-wide post-battle loot and sacking income, and all characters gain more spoils. I wouldn't go with this one because this one actually consumes your spoil for extra money and you will be good with money, as I said. Then we have even more money. This is the control building, so this is once again so goddamn good. You also gain a hero recruit rank +1 faction-wide, so this is good. This is where the shaman sorcerer used to be, but you know, now it's just a bit money. And we have, you know, the faction-wide construction cost reduction, that's really good, and growth and the money. So this is would be the general buildings there. Where else? I think it's Uskulak is a really good example, yeah. As you can see, I have a resource here every time you wanna grab the resource, because every resource gives you money and money is king. So yes, so I sacrificed the global recruitment duration one. Now the minor settlements are obviously resource. We have the growth and money, and we have the control and money. If we are going with a chaos altar, I just grab this one, because this one actually does give you 50 gold if you have where is it? If you have oh, not that one. If you have enough chaos undivided corruption plus 50 gold, which is pretty good. The rest is like meh. This is the way to grab chaos warriors and spawns, but I just don't care about them. Plus 50 gold is 50 gold. So that is one thing. Now, do we have a port city? Yes, so if it's a port, or this is even better. So we have a port, trading resource, and then obviously the growth and money. Because I always build in order. So this is how I would build them. And let's just see, do we have... I know this is not good. Because if I would have a unique building, it would be port, trading resource, unique building. So yeah. So there is that. What else do we need to talk about? Let's just see. Growth money, faction-wide buffs, yes. So yeah, their buildings, let's talk about that. So I think they are kinda like a mini chaos dwarfs. Because you need to pay attention, like, do I want to sack this settlement, do I want to know? And I'm just going to show you, because there is two ways you can grab settlements. Either you are grabbing them as they are, so like it's a normal settlement, or you are grabbing them as a chaos shrine, right? But when should you grab a settlement, you know, so when should you make a settlement into a chaos shrine? There is 5 you know, like points to this. So the first thing is settlement cannot be tier 5able, so cannot be a major settlement. If it's a major settlement, immediately spend the spoils. If it has a resource, spend the spoils, because resource more money. And you cannot build resources here, or actually I think you can, but you know, resources is needed. Second thing is port, or this is the third, port. Port is always taken, minor settlement, major. Port is still so goddamn much money that we want it. We just want it also growth. So that's the third thing. So yeah, we have the tier, trade, port, anything that's unique. Where do we have a unique building? I mean, this is a port as well, but anything unique building, you want to grab it as well. So this is the fourth. And the final thing is, obviously, if it's a Norscan homeland, you should just grab it as a Norscan homeland. So that's my tactics for the buildings. And now let me just show you the little cheese that I can show. It's not that big of a cheese. So let's just say, let me just immediately declare war, yeah. So we already know by the points I said that I want this building or this settlement as a chaos shrine. Because minor settlement, not a port, no trading resources, unique or Norscan homeland, right? But
Despoil and ravage. Into the fray.
oh wait, actually no. So this one will be just regularly occupied, right? So immediately raise it to the Chaos Shrine. So this is 70. So I won't spend the colonization, which is always 500. So we raise the Chaos Shrine immediately. So whenever you want a Chaos Shrine, immediately grab it as a Chaos Shrine. And if I want some building, this is when I'm actually showing it, but you know, I have been talking so goddamn much that yeah, I'm getting the sword throats. Cavalry is a perfect example. I want to grab Cavalry because we have a resource building there, right? But it's tier 3 building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow it up, right? Because I need 500 spoil for this, right? But look at this, if I blow it up, I'm gonna gain immediately this much spoil, and I'm gonna get an army that has this much spoil, right? So 500 and this much, so boom. And with the army, I'm just going to occupy it. This is how you can upkeep your spoils, basically. This is what I usually do to, you know, cheese the system. You stand outside, immediately inside, and boom, even more spoil. The only time I wouldn't do this if it's, let's just say we have a tier 5 settlement. Yeah, like this one is really good example. So I don't want to blow up a tier 5 settlement. I immediately want to take it. Can I reach it? I cannot. God damn it, man. God damn it.
By the comet.
Yeah, so what I would do is, you know, let's just do it against these guys.
No, no.
Let's just say this is a tier 5, so I immediately occupy a tier 5 settlement without blowing it up, right? So just boom. And as soon as I can, I will just occupy it, and that's it. Yeah, so just colonize. Because it's a tier 5, unique resource and a landmark. So, you know, as I said, the points are there. Now, what else do we need to talk about? Kind of miss the magic items, so let's talk about that. And the army composition as well, right? Oh, army composition.
Your will.
Early game,
Tribe consents.
it's pretty goddamn simple. You will just spam these guys. This would be my early game stack, and good night. Just grab these ones, they're gonna carry you. Because pretty quickly, actually, you can switch to the Norse controls. So let's just grab those ones in as well. Where are they? Quickly. I would probably go around 4. The rest of them would be obviously the Burmans. This is, you know, at this stage, you probably have access to Dreadmows as well, so you can maybe say that I want a few of those as well. But oh, it looks really wonky. But I would definitely switch these ones out. And a late game army is this one. 4 Dreadmows, 4 Mammoths. We want every hero one of those. Let's just explain those as we go. The Lord's Strength. Let's discuss that. Because Norsca has access to 2 lords, generic lords. We have the Marauder Chieftains, and we have the new guys, the Great Shaman Sorcerer. We have the Metal, the Fire, and what else? The Death, yes. So we have the Death as well. Now, mount-wise, the Shaman wins for sure, because they have access to the War Shrine version, which I think is better for the Lord. And in every other category, it loses.
I am in agreement.
Because what we want is, we want the Diabolic Splendor trait. I think this is better than Discipline for Norsca at least. Because as you can see, they gain physical resistance 5%. And if I go here, I actually enable the mod so I can showcase this. So yes, obviously this one is Disciplined. And if I would switch out their traits to the Diabolic Splendor one, Now we can see it's, it doesn't match. So we have a leadership oversize, which is crap, passive ability, icon of endless for crap, fear, terror, crap. So somehow, I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but they don't have access to the same, traits, and we want this. They also gain passive ability glittering scales, which will reduce the melee attack. So this is essentially a magic item, because we have a magic item, glittering scales. So yeah, trait-wise, they win. And there are other things as well, because we have access to regeneration on the chieftain. Obviously it's good. Poison attacks is it's good, it's there. What else can we provide for the army? Plus 15 armor, plus 10% physical resistance. We will have additional HP only for us, and missile resistance for the army. So that's the army buffs. And the shaman has, as you can see, vigor loss reduction, melee attack plus 4, not that much. We have casualty replenishment rate, recruitment cost, better spells, leadership. They have which one? Where is it? Oh, actually they don't have access to that one. Okay, so that's the chieftain that has access to the monstrous arcanum monster buff. So the monster arcanum is all of these lords, which is through the taming hunt, so these guys there. Not that one, but this one, so we can buff it with... So they gain barrier, they gain additional melee attack and perfect vigor, and they can also actually gain regeneration, if I am correct, and it's here, yeah, regeneration. So that's also for the chieftain. So I think the chieftain is the clear winner if I have to choose between the lords. I mean, the two lords, it's obvious the chieftain is the winner. So this unit is absolutely crap. It would be probably be in the, in the D tier, like without a doubt, and the chieftain would be in the S, leading the S tier. Easily. So yeah, I think that's the lord version. Now if we go over the heroes, the Femir Noble does not have access to that trait. Or, I mean, it has access to it, as you can see, it's also bugged. So I'm not sure that's why, but everyone else should be Diabolic Splendor, because all of them will provide additional physical resistance. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and an additional 10, so 35% physical resistance, which is pretty good, pretty good. And we want one from each of them, except the Skin Wolves. So the Femir Bale Fiend will give us a replenishment, which is good. It will also give us spell resistance reduction and missile resistance reduction, and pretty much that's it for it. I think it's a crap fighter. I mean, magic is there. I would definitely grab the shadow version for the Pit of Shades, without a doubt. Then we have the Skin Wolf working. So as I was discussing this previously, these guys are the anti-large, because they will shred anti-large apart in minutes, or minutes in seconds. They have regeneration as well as frenzy. They have crazy amounts of physical resistance, 70%. I will also talk about that because you can buff this one further a bit. The reason why I want two of these guys is because one of them will have this one, the armor buff, so the ruinous flesh. In an area around him you will have armor and missile resistance. They can also provide charge bonus and armor piercing weapon damage. That's, okay. And that's their... Yeah, because training not that good, control as well, and the other dude will have the melee attack version. So this is why you want two of these guys. And obviously they are also Diabolic Splendor. Then we have the Femir Noble, really good. We have mobility here and additional mobility there. He will have actually access to regeneration, so, and he's actually a really good fighter, really good fighter. So the lords are, you know, I did not put them in here, but let's just imagine the lords is here, the other one is here, and the Workin are probably up there as well, and they are too. So usually whenever I'm fighting, I bring the lord, the two Workin, and this noble dude as well, because they are pretty good fighters. And the buffs that he provides for the army are pretty much nothing. You have this, which is a melee attack buff around yourself, but you know, other than that, nothing much really. Yeah, the rest of it is just generic thing. And as we have discussed, this does not work for them for some reason. We also have a Shaman Sorcerer, once again, Diabolical Spender. He will give us construction cost in the region, yeah. You gain more from post-battle loot, but kinda that's it. The only reason I am bringing him, obviously the magic item is pretty good as well, the corruption isn't that good, so I would grab that version. So we have a shadow version of this one for the Pit of Shades, and that version for the Spirit Leech. If we would, you know, come up against someone that's like we cannot get rid of in like melee, or we want to weaken someone, this is what we want. So we have a single target spell, an infantry targeting spell, and this is a vortex spell which doesn't move. This is pretty much the best vortex spell in the game, so these guys are only here for that. So these are the heroes, and as you can see, this is the rest. So magic items, I would probably go with obviously Armor of Destiny. And Norsca is actually quite interesting in magic items, because their magic items are pretty low. Like, I mean, what I mean low is like what versions they have access to. So they have the Armor of Destiny, Trickster's Hand, but as you can see, if I start forging these two together, Armor of Destiny. I don't think they have another one of those, but let's just see. Armor of Destiny. So only these two, you know, items are available to them. There is the Trickster Helm. So yeah, that's pretty good, because Armor of Destiny is the king. Now weapon-wise, I would go with the Executioner's Axe for the Executor attribute, which is really good because any Lord, hero, or an anti-large unit, you know, that's like a single entity, anything that's 20% hit point will be one-shotted by this dude. So it's really good. Also Sundering attacks, which will lower the armor by -30. You lose some melee attack, but I think this is a good sacrifice. Now before this, I would have gone with the Obsidian Blade, but this is once again a Flaming Axe. So if we forge these two together, what do we gain? Oh, I did not have that one. Wow. But yeah, Norsca's magic items are pretty good. Talisman is obviously Talisman of Preservation, and as you can see, I have, you know, quite a few of those. And if I start forging these two together, once again I just start gaining, because they only have access to Talisman of Preservation. So if I would go do this, I gain once more of that, forge them together, Talisman of Preservation. So it's really easy to print these ones. And the enchanted item should be the other Trickster Shard. We will have a tiny barrier, which is good. It's, you know, rechargeable, and we will have this amazing effect. So anything that's around us in a 55-meter range will have -20% physical, missile, spell, flame, and, you know, regular ward save resistance stripped. So this is probably the best magic item in the entire game. And once again, Norsca only has access to this. So if I start, actually we have access to the Vial of Trollblood, but this is from raising and sacking the settlements. So if I do this, Once again, I will only gain that. Now if I would have a mage, I would probably put the Book of Ashur on them for the Winds of Magic capacity. Because Norsca is actually pretty good, you know, in the magic area. Because you can see 263. Let's just see another army.
To the slaughter.
219. Sail's army. 333. So the big reason for this is if you complete Sail's ritual. Let's just see. So we will have access to this one. Every one of your, you know, these chaos altars will provide one Winds of Magic capacity faction-wide, which is pretty bonkers. I mean, 300 Winds of Magic for Sail that has spells on like 1 Winds of Magic for a Wind Blast, or, you know, Penumbral Pendulum 4. We have the Thunderbolt for 1. that's pretty crazy, you know. So yeah, magic-wise they are good. Also spell resistance on Sail. Spell resistance, I mean, Spell Master is pretty decent, 140%, which will be further amplified by any additional mage, you know, like casters in his army. So yeah, magic-wise they are also good. So we have talked about their army composition, we have talked about the early, the mid army composition, and you know, once you have access to heroes you should just start switching out. So, you know, let's just say I have access to 2 heroes and I'm just gonna, you know, take off the regular dudes, and same here. And we talked about their late game armies on, you know, how should they look preferably, and the magic items as well. I usually don't give magic items to the heroes because I prefer it on the lords. I only give the arcane item, the Book of Ashur, for the casters. And that's it for those ones. What else did we miss? So let's talk about the 2 unique dudes for Norsca. One of them is the Nurgle Legendary Lord. I would definitely go with this one, because he will give for every character that is a lord or a hero plus 30% hit points. I think that's pretty good, you know. That's pretty good, because Sail has now, let's just see, 22,000 HP. How much HP we have? 25,000 HP. So that's just crazy amounts. The other dude is it's Cinchian caster, right? Let's just see. I think I can see that, yeah. So all character would gain spell reduction. No. Norsca is really melee. And with this much, you know, Winds of Magic, I don't think I have any issues with, oh my god, Castinger spell. So yeah, we don't need that. And the hero should be the Slaneshi one instead of the Khorne one. Because the Slaneshi one will give every lord and every hero plus 15% physical resistance. So once again, a pretty good trade. So let's just see here. So we have 55% physical resistance for a lord. This is why the Workin has so high physical resistance. Regular heroes are at 50%, so Norsca has such a crazy bonuses that, you know, many factions don't have access to this much crazy stuff. So I think, you know, that's it. I think the rework, I mean, I wouldn't really call it rework. Let's just say they are part of the council, but we do not grant the title of rework. So Norsca's rework is okay. I really miss the Confederation, because the Confederation would be pretty amazing if I wouldn't have. But Norsca, you know, it's not that big of a deal to grab Trog and Wulfric. Although I haven't seen Wulfric, so I really hope Wulfric did not die. But their rework is okay. I think it's better than it was before, but I also think they were good, so they weren't that crap. But for now, you know, now they are even better. So I think this is it for the tier list, the rework, and the general talk about Norsca and how they perform. And as you can see, also once I finish here, you know, I'm just gonna raid, so to, you know, upkeep the economy. But yeah, I think Norsca is a really fun faction, really easy faction once you get the hang of things. So that's it for this one. This is the tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't agreed on something, you know, share your ideas or, you know, discussion below in the comments. And see you next time. Have a great day, evening, whatever. Thanks for watching, and bye.